Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Optimus Prime build, starting with issue 48, and depending on how long it takes to do issue 48, we might continue on to other issues. So I'm getting out the parts right now. Let's go ahead and lay them out. Got the shoulder from the last stage. We will be working on that. Metal pieces here. Got some screws. Some lock washers. These are more appropriately sized than the ones in the last issue. A couple of, I guess you'd call them bolts, a couple of nuts, single washer in there, and these detail parts. So let's go ahead and get the book open and see what we're doing. And so let's see, just for giggles, that's the right shoulder underarm joint. This is the joint itself. Did not see the friction disc. That would really be bad because that would mean that I am stuck not doing anything. So let's see. 47, 48. Doesn't weigh very much. Was up underneath here. There's something to be said for these, but there's also something to be said for a different type of packaging that you don't have a label that very small parts will disappear up under. I'd have never found those had I not looked through these, or I'd have been upset halfway through. So we got some friction discs, we've got some pins as well, and I'm just curious, what are these? 48E inner shoulder connectors, outer shoulder connectors. These, I believe, will slide back and forth. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive they will, and there's a pin that will go through. I want to say we already did one like that, but don't remember for sure. So the first thing we do is we take this part here on the inside. Got these. Come on, focus. 3 lugs here. 3 holes here with basically sockets on the outside. This is going to go on here like that. And we're going to be putting BM screws into them, which are right here. There are 4 of them, 1 spare. Let me get the screws out. We will dip them in oil and we'll attach that part. And everything has a label on it. Both of these have an R on them. So I'm going to put the first one in down here in the single hole, kind of hold it in place so I can do this other two. Would be nice if it would grab straight on, but it never does. There's that. Last one. And then we'll go ahead and tighten these all down. The screwdriver, the tip is wearing a little bit. So let's get the bigger one that's actually going to grab into the cross point screw head. I don't think Todd has replaced his, but mine is wearing pretty badly. So I might have to replace these screwdrivers soon. That is that piece in place. Next, we're going to take 48C, which is the small one, that is the larger one. 48C, which is the friction disc, the larger of the 3. You can see there are 2 smaller friction discs. There's the one we're putting in right now. We're going to go ahead and grab the underarm joint here. Those 2 small ones are going to go in these recesses. The larger one, however, is going to go into this recess here. Make sure, yep, there's a correct way for this to go in here, because you have your striations on here, your lines that are going to create the friction, and the backside is smooth, except for injection molding marks. And I dropped it. I was like, where'd it go? So we're going to slide that in there. This is going to slide over top like that. There's a small split there. Just looking, that's going to go on here like this. Slide over that friction piece. And it actually is doing pretty well at keeping the friction up. And we're going to put the bolts, one bolt and one or they're calling it a screw, okay, one self-locking nut. I do not have the two didn't look ahead, do not have the two wrenches on the bench, but I do have them readily available. Let me go grab them out of the box, and I'll be right back. Okay, got the two. Hang on, I'll be back. Okay, back at it. That was my wife. She needed me to help her with something real quick. Okay, so that, just look at this. Okay. So they have the screw going in from this side. They call it a screw. It's actually, to me, it's a bolt because it doesn't have a screw head on it. Let's see if we can get this to go in here. And that's the thing about screws like this, is you got to mess with them sometimes to get them to go through. Sometimes you have to mess with them to get them to go through, and then they won't stay in place. We're going to take the lock washer, or not lock washer, sorry, the self-locking nut. Come on. I do have to say, there is a lot of thread sticking out here. Hang on. Just double checking. That's because there's two different size screws. I did not see that. Yep, there are. I grabbed the wrong one. So we'll put that one back in there. Or we'll take it out and set it on the table for right now. We'll get the other one out. Let me double check. It says 48H. Yeah. There's G and H. Not a whole ton of a lot of difference between them, but enough that it actually was very, very easy to see it. Okay, and we've got the screw coming in from this side. Actually, I had it from the other side. Double check. Yeah, screw comes in from the back side, sticks out this direction. Self-locking nut on here. We're going to go ahead and grab this like that. See, actually, you know what? I'm going to grab on the screw side and use the wrench on the outside to tighten it down. Still a lot more thread is sticking out than I would like. But I didn't design it. There's a lot. And a little bit too tight there, maybe. But yeah, that's a lot of the screws sticking out there. Okay, holding the nut still with the wrench. Put a little glue on small sizes of the friction discs and put them on here. Grooves outward, attach the shoulder assembly to the torso from issue 44. So I'm going to have to go get the issue 44 as shown. Push lock washers, 48G, 2 lock washers, or 48G and K. Unscrew. Okay. Or 48J and K, sorry. Okay, so let me go get the other part that I need and I'll be right back. I knew these parts looked familiar. Sorry. Don't be me. Okay, so let me get, there's only one in here. What happened? There it is. Get the frictional washers, or friction discs actually. It says to put a little bit of glue, a little bit of glue on the back of it. Drop right there. Drop right there. Make sure I get them in there right. So that once they're in there, they're not coming back out. If I can get them to go in there correctly. That's the problem with putting a drop of glue on them. They will catch before you're ready for them to, and that tab is not wanting to go into place. Try this again, smooth side down. I've lost. Where is it? Turned it and I couldn't find it anymore where it's supposed to go. See, the problem is with this small of a piece, it is not the easiest thing to get that tab to go in where it's supposed to. Like that. And probably the drop glue on the bottom side has already dried out. Drop a glue in there. Almost lost this one. And it fell out somewhere. I've misplaced that friction disc. It is somewhere here, I'm sure. I just don't see it right now. There it is. It's because the glue is on it and it's gluing itself elsewhere in the kit or in the model. Truly, the little tab here, the little tab that I'm holding it by, is not needed because Well, maybe it is to hold it in place once it's in there, but getting it in there can be, as you can see, a little bit of a pain. But that one's in there, and that one's in there. So now we're going to take this. I'm looking at this other one, how this is going to go on here. It's going to go between these two forks here. Maybe. That one might be sticking up too far. Come on, get on there. Try this. And I do remember now, but it's been a while since parts sometimes take a long time to show up. This was a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay, so we got the nut on the bottom there. We're going to have the nut on the bottom. And then the washer. Two washers where it is. Okay, there's the other one. We've got those. We're going to set them aside. J and K. Let's just take a double check. So lock washer. Come on. Okay, so we're going to take the lock washer first, and then the regular washer. They're going to slide down on there. And then you're going to fight them past the other screw. If this is in the right spot. Let me just see if this is even lined up. It is mostly lined up. I can actually get the screwdriver down inside there. I now remember how much of a pain this was. Sometimes I block these my own videos out of my head because, oh goodness, it was a pain in the behind to do this. Come on. There we go. That started in there. There we go. It's going in. Slowly but surely. Get this wire out of the way. And I remember how much a pain this was because of the other nut right there. I said it then, I'll say it again. That's not very good design there. Getting this nut to go down past the other nut right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right there. I'm trying to fight those two nuts past each other. I think that should be straight enough. It's not coming out the bottom yet. I remember this was a royal pain. Let's see if that's going to actually come down through. And no, it's catching on the other nut at this point, or the other screw. Okay. Stay. Let me see. Maybe I can push it down in there. First, I need to get that screw lined up correctly. Go past the other one. I know I had this exact same problem on the other shoulder. Not going past the point is there in the wrong spot. That's the thing, is if I can get it past, yay, don't remember if that happened before or not. If I can get it past that starting point, everything should be good. Because it's not sticking out the bottom. Once it sticks out of the bottom, then I can actually put the nut on there and use the nut to pull it down. So rather than keep you guys watching for who knows how long it's going to take, I'm going to pause the camera here, get this thing fought down, and then I will come back. Okay, that has got to be, bar none, the worst stage I've ever done in a part work. I've got channel locks, multiple needle nose screwdrivers, hammer, and parts falling off all over the kit. Really, really, really a bad stage. So let's see if I can figure out where these parts all belong. Okay, this one, hopefully nothing broke while was trying to get that on there. Really, really, really not impressed at all. I think I've already said that, but you know, it bears repeating. So this one, I think, goes on this ball socket here. If I can get it back in there. I think that was up there like that. So that one would have been up there like that. Something like that. Hopefully I'll be able to get everything back where it belongs. These are both the shoulder ones. Let me see. Okay, those go on the front. Something like this. And if I never have to do something like that again, it's too soon. That was a struggle and a half. I think I got it. Well, I know I got it tightened down to where it's not going to move. But I think that's bad engineering, personal opinion. It shouldn't take almost an hour to put one screw in. That's how long it took, actually. It's almost an hour. And I am decidedly irritated right now. Oh yeah, back to where I was. Okay, we got that in there, got that in there. Next page. And yeah, the problem is, I showed it before. Problem is you cannot get down into that spot. It's on both sides. I forgot about it. This side was a little bit better. I was actually able to keep the wrench on there. This side, not so much. So I'm just looking. Okay, now that's funny. This part here that was loose, like that, while I was fighting with this, I actually pushed it into place. And now I probably can't get it back. There we go. Makes me almost wish that I was was young enough to want the cartoon one. Sorry if you are of the age that the Optimus Prime cartoon one was the one that you prefer. I never watched that cartoon as a kid because I was pretty close to being an adult when it came out. So let's get these last pieces out, get them on here, and then I'll move on to something else in my day and not be irritated anymore. Okay, so sorry. Spent several hours mowing the yard yesterday, and so my hay fever is acting up a little bit. Looking, this goes on here like this. There's 3 of them. They go on just like this. I'm just looking to see which way they have the pin going in. Looks like they have it coming in from this side here. So it's going to go in there through that slot, come out here, and as before, there are some small striations there. That's going to hold the pin in place. So let's go ahead and start this. This side. I don't think it matters which side it goes in because those striations are going to hold it in place. Actually, let's not do it that way because what's going to happen is it's going to ping and I'll never see it again. So set it on here like this, push it in. You can see now it is engaged. So we're going to push this all the way down. Until it engages on the other side. It's not through yet. Interesting. I can see it, but it is not going in. Very gently because I had to manhandle some parts already today. Push that in so you can see the pin is there. What part with striations is there, and this will hold in place. Similar to these, it is going to go, let me see, get the first one is going to go into this hole here and onto this pin here. Oops, that pin there. So it's going to go on here like this. Just realized I have this piece sitting here. I'm not positive where it goes. I'll have to find where this came off of. But gently want to smack it right now. Sorry. Ow. Yeah, that's where it goes. This belongs up under here, which kind of amazing that I knocked that loose. It goes up under here, under the kingpin. There we go. That's where that goes. Actually, it looks like it's another face on Optimus. That one's in there. Should have put these into a my little tins. Right now, I'm not that smart. Let's see which side will it start on. Okay, it started. Come on, there we go. Put this one in place. There we go. Push it in, do the same thing I did on the other side, which is pinch it. Come on. Do a little bit more. The pin is still sticking out the hair on that side. Play with it back and forth a little bit. This next one is going to go on here. Push onto this pin here. A little bit better. Didn't have to hurt myself to get that one in like that. Last one is going to go here to here. Unless, of course, I lose the pin. I didn't see it there for a second. I don't want to hold it too long with the tweezers, because if I do, it's going somewhere. Parts unknown. Pinging off into the ozone to feed the tile monster. Since I don't have carpet, I must have a tile monster in here. Pinch this last one in here. It's actually a nice little way that they did this, because they do move. They swing, they go up and down. I don't actually think that the joint is going to require them to do that. There's that. Ow. What's happening is, as they go through, that pin pops into my finger. Hits the fleshy part of my thumb. So, after much struggle and a very long build time for me, which I cut major portion out of it by pausing the camera for you guys, that is it. I'm enjoying most of the build. This along with the stage 44, which was the other shoulder, it's probably the worst part of this build so far. It's one of these things of was kind of waiting for when the other shoe drops. You know, when's it going to get really difficult? Looking. That's why this wire is always in the way. It's supposed to be up under here. I was looking at this wire and it keeps coming out in my way. It's supposed to be down up under here, hidden behind this engine block. Something like that. So, like I said, not a bad build except for a couple of stages. I thank you for stopping by. I thank you if you stuck around this long to see me finish this stage. Real pain in the behind. Apologize if I sounded a little bit grumpy. It made me a little bit grumpy. But like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new videos. Leave a comment. Tell me I'm being too grumpy. Tell me you agree with me if you built this and you had to fight with it. By the way, I damaged this knife a little bit, pounding on it. You can see some damage right there from using it as a driving post. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video.